Hello students, I am recording today's class just so it will be easy for those students who missed it or maybe want another run through today's lesson. So here we are in Schoology where we are looking at the lesson 3 on while loops, and this is 15-minute long, so I'll kind of pace myself a little better so it'll be like within the 15-minute mark. You would want to go to this website, CS Awesome, right? And here you will see an introduction to while loops. So we have seen while loops before, and while loops is similar to if condition. The only thing is if loop is running only one time. It has only once running, but while loop you can have it several times depending on the condition. The condition actually decides how many times. So these are called more like an iterations or repetitions. So these are control structures which loop around, or they're repetitive loops or iterations. Those are the different terminology you will use. So here we have while a condition is going on, is being satisfied, you do this stuff. That's the idea. There is something called do while also, which is do this while the condition is true, where the do part runs first. So there will be one run through the code at that time. But we can think about that later. For now, if you see, for example, here you have a Java code, while x is less than 100, move 10 steps. So how would we build on this? So here you need some kind of initial starter. This is called the counter x. In here it is x. In other programs it will be something that you would call it. So I'm going to just snip this, my bad, so I can write on it. So you have x is less than 100, so meaning you have to first initialize this x before. So you have to say int x equal to 0 or something, maybe 1, or however you want the code to work. But here he wants us to run this for 10 steps only. If I just say the condition here to be x equals x plus 1 increased by only 1, then we'll move it 100 times, not 10 times, which means for it to go just 10 steps in 100, I would actually put the counter as x equals x plus 10. So x plus 10 can also be given as, you can also rewrite the statement. There is a shortcut of writing this. X plus equals 10. So this is the shortcut where you will say x is actually x plus 10. You can reuse this for multiplication also, by the way. You can just say x times equal 10. It means that you're actually multiplying 10 to the x or something. Okay. 1 second. Where is this? So here we have this counter, and we were talking about that. So x equals x times 10 could be written as times equals. So this is another way of writing it. So now let's get back to this code. So while x is less than 100, that's the condition. This is the condition. And you want it to move 10 steps. So that's what you would do, right? So that would actually solve the problem. So you're moving it from 0 through 100 10 times. So now let's move on. This is how it is written in the while loop as a control flow. So this is a condition is usually depicted as a diamond. If the condition is false, it goes out of the loop. But if it is true, it stays inside the loop and goes on and on. Okay, so that's a control flow chart. Now let's look at this program. So we'll quickly look at this. So here, if you see, I'm only doing this so I can write on it. So here, this is the initial, as you see, it's the initial loop variable. This is the test variable, and this is where you're changing it. You can also increment it with this another shortcut way of writing. It's same thing as count equals count plus 1. It's just the same. Another way of writing it is count plus plus. If you say count minus minus, it's actually going to decrease the value. It's going to go from 1 through 0. So you're decreasing one value. So count will be count minus 1, right? So that's one way. You can have plus plus count. You have minus minus count. That is also possible. That is when these are pre-increment operators. These are post-increment operators. But as far as this course is concerned, we are mostly using post-increment operators. So don't worry about this much. But I'm just letting you know that some things like these exist. And then let's move on. So you have these three initialized. So let's look at this program. You're initializing. So we want you to change from, it counts from 1 through 5, but we want it to change it to count from 2 to 10. So if you want to start from 2, you definitely want to change this count to 2. So I would change this to 2 and also count from 2 to 10, but this is going until 5 only. So let's change that. Okay. So when you actually run this, okay, when you actually run this, it got, so it started at 2 and ending at 10. Okay, good, all well. But I just want you to just play with it. So if I say just less than instead of equal to, what would be the output? You can pause the video here, guess it and come back. So if you actually put a less than 10 instead of equal to, I know it will fail because that's not expected. But if you see here, it's only until 9 because we are saying it's not checking for equal sign. So and hence when it is at 10, this will fail and it will come out of the loop and it will not increase to 11 or something. So it will just show only until 9. Got it? So if I initialize this to a 0 or 1, it will actually increase more numbers in the output. It will start from 1 and so on and so forth. So I just want you to play around and see how this goes. Okay. Now let's move on. So here we are saying count is initialized to a 0 and then we have to fill in the loop header. If we say while count equal to 10, it cannot. When you're starting at 0, if you use this as a header, it's only one time check. That's it. And you cannot use the loop anymore. The other thing is if you say just less than 10, then it will go ahead, it will work, but you want it to print the 10 also. As I was talking about before, the 10 will not be printed if you don't put the equal sign. So this is the answer. Okay. If it's 10, if it's greater than 10, even that will not work because 0 cannot be greater than 10. So our loop will not work at all. So that's the answer for this. So there is something called tracing. Okay, so tracing is the one important thing that you need to know. I encourage you to watch this video which I made, but I don't want you to watch a video inside a video. So we'll just see with an example. Okay, what is tracing? So let's make a quick snip of this. So if you see, so we have here counter equals, count is initialized to 1. Okay, so you need to make a t-chart. So you have this variable. For whatever variables you have in the code, you're going to write them here in the t-chart. So for now, we are only using count for this particular code. So count, and then you would write the condition here. Is count less than or equal to 10? This is the condition, right? So write it down there. Now we'll start with 1 because that's initialized to 1. So 1 is 1 less than 10? Yes. Then good. Then it comes inside the loop and does this operation, which is count equals count times 2. And we talked about times also, right? We talked about this shortcut operator. So that means the value is doubling. It's multiplied by 2. So this becomes 2. And is 2 less than 10? Yes. Then it will increase to 4, not 3, because it's times. So is 4 less than 10? Yes. And the next part is it doubles again. Is 8 less than 10? Yes. It still goes inside. Now this doubles to 16. Is 16 less than 10? No. Then it comes out of the loop and goes to this line. Now here it says, so this loop tracing is done. But now he says count is count minus 10. So you have to subtract 10 from the 16, which is a 6. So 6 will be the answer. Okay. So that's how tracing is done. And tracing, I cannot stress enough, tracing is really, really, really important for us. So let's look at this snippet of code. So here we have int x equals -5. So let's trace this. Okay. X, and this is x less than 0. Now it's initialized to -5. Is -5 less than 0? Yes. So it comes inside. See, the system.println statement is not before x++. So whatever is x++, so which means that this is getting worked first. And x++, I told you, you are increasing the counter. So this -5 becomes -4. So -4 is less than 0. So yes. And then it still increases. It's still less than 0. So let's, by the way, this is the output. This is what you will see in the output. You will see -5 first, then -4. Oh, sorry. Do we really see -5? No, my bad. So -5 is here. Only after increasing it will show. So -5 will not be in the output. So -4, -3. Now it is again increased to -2. It is less than 0. So -2 will be there. And then you will see it is increased to -1. It is still less than 0. So you can still see -1. And now it is increased to 0. But 0 is not less than 0. So this is a no. It comes out. Okay. So it doesn't even enter the loop. So by the way, it is 0. I forgot to write the 0 here. So it's definitely C. Okay. So that's how you do this. So it's a C and it'll work. Okay. The common errors we normally do is please don't do while true. It goes in the infinite loop, or some students put a semicolon right after the condition. That is also going to an infinite loop. Don't do that mistake. Okay. Now I want you to try this tracing. See what would be the output. I want you to try. So yeah, so this is input control loop. You could just explore on it. I talked about it. Works so long you enter by. So long you don't enter by, it'll keep on asking you and it'll just chat with you. So this is some interesting one. You could just try it out and check it out. And pretty much that's today's class. It's all about while loops. And you need to do this assignment, which will be open tomorrow, the 29th of October. Okay. That's it, my dears. I'll see you next time with another video. Thank you for watching.